G'day and welcome to another edition of Chris Rankin's Music Crush. Today I'm doing a contest entry for my very good friend Liam at the Death Doom Metalhead. He's got to 500 subscribers, so he set out a contest. Congratulations, my friend, very well deserved, an absolutely fantastic channel. Liam and I have a lot of quite similar tastes, but also we share some things that neither of us I've heard of before as well, which is a really good thing. So I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. Also check out his band, Consecration, fantastic band. I'll put a link to their Bandcamp page and also in the description below, so you can check out their Bandcamp page. Really great band. But yeah, great channel, really great channel, congratulations. And he set out a whole bunch of questions, two-part questions. I've got them here written below, so I'll be looking at them so I don't forget what they are. And we'll get started. So first of all, show an album cover that depicts the Grim Reaper. So, first up, I went for this, 1914. I have quite a few albums that have the Grim Reaper on, but this one was the best version, I think. The Blind Leading the Blind is this album. Came out in 2018. Fantastic album of blackened death doom metal, so a combination of death doom metal and black metal. Absolutely brilliant. One of the best albums of 2018 in my opinion. Love it to bits, The Blind Leading the Blind. And the second part of the question is, tell about your local metal scene. So, I'm in Perth, Western Australia. And although at times we do suffer from international touring bands only going to Sydney and Melbourne, or even Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne, we do still get our fair share in Perth. So I've been going to concerts since 1987, and with exception of some festivals and some shows I've seen overseas, in that time, I've been to about, I've counted it up, and I've been to about 630 gigs over that time since 1987. So I've had a fair share, and of course quite a few of those, well, a good amount of those shows were either festivals or shows where there's like 4 or 5 bands on the bill as well. So I've gotten to see a fair share, and then of course added to that the overseas stuff. But yeah, Perth's had a decent amount of share. We used to have 2 big touring festivals that would come through Perth. We had the Big Day Out, which went from 1994 until sort of 2010, 2011, something like that, which went to all the capitals of Australia, and I think it went to New Zealand as well. That was a bit of a mix of everything, but it did have a decent amount of metal, but there was also electronic. There was like an electronic tent. There was all sorts of pop and alternative, and yeah, so that was the Big Day Out. And then we had Soundwave Festival, which actually started in Perth and went from 2006, I think it was, from memory, to 2014. And once again, that went to all the capitals in Australia, and that was a pretty much all metal festival. It was punk also, metal, punk and hardcore and all that. But yeah, that was also pretty good. As far as the local stuff goes, we've got a great amount of metal bands that have come out of Perth. Of course, Bon Scott spent most of his life in Perth, in the suburb of Fremantle, the harbour city of Fremantle in Perth. He grew up and was raised in Perth. And he actually, when he was 17, he actually won Perth's Best Drummer because he was in a pipe drum band. But we've had lots of great bands that come out of Perth. I'm not going to go through and name them all because the list will be very long, and then it would be not fair if I forgot someone as well. But I always show an Australian band in my videos, and a lot of the time it's from Perth, and going forward as well. The venues, we have the Great Civic Hotel, which is reasonably close to me, which I love. That's like home. We have some in the city. We have Amplifier Capital, which is like, it's one building, that they have the bigger pulling bands in the front, which holds a bit more, holds about 800 people, I think, and then they have amplifier in the back, which is a lesser, I think it holds about 500 amplifier. We have Metropolis City, which is a fantastic it's a big nightclub, but it holds a little over 1,000 people, so that's got really good sight lines and acoustics in that building as well. There's also the Rosemount Hotel, we've got Badlands, there's Metropolis Fremantle, which is really good. We used to have one of the best, Perth Entertainment Centre, which had some of the best acoustics you could find. I used to love the Perth Entertainment Centre. That was knocked down in the early 2000s, and then we got the Perth Arena, which I think holds about 14,000 people, which has all the really big stuff. We also have a lot of things that are held at outdoor arenas and football stadiums and things like that. We also have the Perth Concert Hall, which has the best sound acoustics in the Southern Hemisphere. I saw Steve Vai there, which was just mind-blowing. That's mainly used for the Perth Philharmonic Orchestra, but it's also for other events as well. A very thriving scene. We have a newish festival, which is mainly local bands, but we do get a couple of eastern states and international bands on that, called Slayfest, which is about to start up again in a couple of weeks. And we also have Storm Rider Festival, which has been going since about 2014 from memory, maybe 2013, which is all the traditional metal, thrash, heavy metal, which is run by my very good friend Stu McGill, who is also part of Silent Night, the power metal band that I've shown a few times. So yeah, very good thriving metal scene in Perth. Number 2, show an album cover that features deep distress, disappointment, loss, sorrow. I didn't have many actually. I looked through and I couldn't really find much, but I did find this from Bolt Thrower. And if you look there, you can see these people are in quite deep distress and despair and disappointment. So I sort of thought I'd show this. This is, of course, their 1992 album, The Fourth Crusade, and their 4th album. Absolutely love Bolt Thrower. Love them to bits. One of my favourite bands of all time. But sadly, they never came to Perth and never got to see them. But yeah, there we go there. And tell about a TV show, movie that brings you to tears. Dead Poets Society. Every single time I watch it, I've watched it quite a few times, quite a lot. It still gets me every time. And a reasonably new show of Ricky Gervais, Afterlife. Almost every single episode got me in tears, but it was an amazing show and so clever, because 1 minute I'd be screaming with laughter and the next minute I'd be bawling my eyes out. So an amazing show. Now Liam said on the 3rd one, appease his dark sense of humour and show your worst, most inappropriate album cover. Now, I was a bit careful with this one because there's some that I was worried I might get in trouble with YouTube because they are pretty inappropriate and quite bad. The most would be Resume, Blessed of the Fermented Spermicide, which is, if you get the chance to Google it and have a look, by the band Resume, spelled Rezume. That one I was worried I might have trouble with YouTube if I showed that, so I didn't. Also, Cannibal Corpse, Team of the Mutilated, the original one, The Wretched Spawn also. So I've gone for this Cannibal Corpse one, which is still, reasonably on that side of worst inappropriate. Butchered at Birth, of course, their 1991 album. Absolutely love this album. I still remember when I heard Eaten Back to Life when it first came out, and then this came out and was even more crushingly heavy. And a little side trivia fact about Cannibal Corpse in Perth. Chris Barnes performed his very last show with Cannibal Corpse in Perth in 1995. That was his very, very last show. I didn't see that show. I have seen Cannibal Corpse 4 times, I think, but I didn't get to see that. But that was his very last show as part of Cannibal Corpse and leading Cannibal Corpse up front. And tell him a joke. Tell Liam a joke, he said. So, this is my joke. A bear is sitting next to a rabbit, and the bear turns to the rabbit and says, "Do you have a problem with shit sticking to your fur?" And the rabbit says, "No." So the bear picks up the rabbit and wipes his ass with him. There you go. Show an album cover with a pile of skulls. Lots of these. I could have gone with Vader, Live and Decay, Merciless, The Awakening, all sorts of things. Even the Nazareth album's got a whole pile of skulls, but I've gone with this beauty. This is my favourite Exodus album. I know everyone goes for Bonded by Blood, but this is my favourite Exodus album by a mile. There's all the skulls. Shovel-Headed Kill Machine. I love the Rob Dukes era of Exodus so much. This album, Altered Boy, Death Amphetamine, Raise, Shudder to Think, the title track. Gary Holt pulled out all of his best riffs, in my opinion, and put them all on this album. It's an album full of money riffs, so catchy, so heavy. I love this album to bits. It's just brilliant. And look at that cover, so good. And he also said on this, show your favourite t-shirt. So this is it. This is my favourite shirt. Suffocation. I got this from the Hammersonic Festival in Jakarta. I absolutely love this shirt. I wear it a lot. You can even see it's getting a bit thin now because I wear it so much. I just absolutely love this shirt so much. Number 5, show a sci-fi themed album cover. So I've got lots of sci-fi album covers just everywhere, lots of them. But I've gone for this one because I remember when I got this when it first came out, I studied this album forever and ever and ever. And of course it's beautiful on the back as well. It's just got everything, so much detail. Of course there's all the little bits and pieces where you can find album titles and song titles and little references to Iron Maiden. This is my original Australian press of Somewhere in Time, 1986. Absolutely love this album. I think this is Derek Riggs' finest hour right there. So good. Absolutely so good. Favourite sci-fi movie, Empire Strikes Back by a long way. I do love Event Horizon, Interstellar. I'm a massive sci-fi buff. Absolutely just love sci-fi. Anything to do with science fiction gets me every time. So yeah. But yeah, Empire Strikes Back, massive Star Wars fan. You can always see up on my wall over here, got all the Star Wars, but yeah. Number 6, show an album that is everything to you about metal, that is everything metal to you. Well, I went going with the band Vader. For me, and I've spoken about this before, they are everything metal to me. They just ooze metal. I've met Peter before. Such a wonderful guy. This band never talks about how their next album is going to be so heavy, or they never talk about how they're as metal as F. They never do any of that. You just know it's going to be heavy. You know it's going to be metal. They always deliver live. Their albums, there's not really ballads on them. There's nothing sort of slow. They never stray too far. Each album's a little bit different, but it's still always metal. One of the best names of all time, that you name your band after one of the greatest villains of all time. Vader from Poland, of course. This is their 2000 album, Litany. This is my favourite Vader album, one of my favourite death metal albums of all time. I absolutely love Vader, and for me, they never stray from being everything about metal, that's for sure. And Liam said anything that he think he should change about his channel. Nah, I can't see anything, Liam, to be very honest. I've really searched hard and I just can't, man. I love your channel. I think it's a great channel. I think you're doing so great. And once again, congratulations on the 500 subs. Really good. I'll put the links into his channel and his band, the Bandcamp page of Consecration in the links below, the description below, sorry. And yeah, that's my contest entry. So please go over and check out the Death Doom Metalhead channel. Really great channel. Thank you all for watching. I might do another video later on tonight and I'll talk about some of the new releases that I've listened to and a little bit of listening. Yeah, and thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you all very soon.